In the previous video about Unreal Engine 4, we learned the basic and initial steps of how to use our tool, from the launcher, geometries, to creation of materials. In our next module, we'll cover a different theme and understand the process of creating 3D models from scratch in programs outside of Unreal Engine 4, such as 3ds Max. Let's create fun models so you'll understand the process in advanced theory and practice. This is a three-dimensional modeling program that allows rendering of images and animations, being used in animation film production, 3D game character creation, TV vignettes, and commercials, electronic modeling, and the creation of any virtual world. Why will we learn about this program to be used with the Unreal? Because it's with 3D modeling software that's made every initial process of creating any composition for the use of game engine, such as the items cited above. Autodesk Incorporated is a leader in 3D design, engineering, and entertainment software. Since 1982, with the introduction of AutoCAD software, Autodesk continues to develop the broadest portfolio of 3D software for global markets. If we access the page of 3ds Max in Autodesk, we will have an overview of projects made with the software. In the upper bar, we'll find the subscription offer for those who wish to be paid, and below we have an option of a free version for anyone who wants to study. We will enter the student option. If you already have an Autodesk account, you can access the first option. If you don't, we'll create an account. Follow the video and fill in your data. After the registration is complete, we'll choose the desired version, operating system, and language. Click the option Install Now and wait for the file to download to begin the installation. In our first steps on the 3ds Max interface, we'll see important toolbar items such as navigation buttons and 3D model creation from standard primitives. We'll also see the modifiers such as Edit Poly, Symmetry, Shell, etc. Now let's open our 3ds Max. And in the meantime, if you want to know more about the software, we can access the area.autodesk.com site, where you'll find projects already done with programs that Autodesk offers besides 3ds Max. With our 3ds Max open, we will see in the first window shows us the content of the platform. Jumping to one side, the option to open our projects in case you want to continue. And soon after, we have the option of a new scene that will be our option. With the interface open, we can see 4 viewing options. The most used is the perspective, in which the tool has free rotation. Going to the right corner of the screen, we have the option to enlarge the window. If you press T, keyboard will have a top view. If you click L, you will see the side view. And if you click F, you'll have the frontal view. Or if you want to go back, click on the upper right corner of the screen. In the upper left corner, we have options of Start a new project, Open, Save, Import and Export files. Continuing in the upper bar of the interface, we'll find the selection tools. First, select and move. The second selects and rotates. The third, select and scale. For help of a movement, we have the button snaps that we can edit. When clicking the right mouse button, we can choose the option, grid points, that provide the connection of vertices with vertices. Let's deselect the snap and delete these boxes. In the upper left corner of the screen, we have a shortcut that allows us to choose the vision we want to have under the object. Next, we will have options of visualization of the model, where we can choose the edges of the object as we see now. On the right side, we have our modifiers. The first and most used is the primitive pattern, where we will find several models, such as the box we opened. So we have splines also used for modeling. And we have lights used in projects that use the rendering tool. The others are modifiers that we will not use at the moment. To explain about the list of modifiers, let's create a box again. With the box created, we go to the modifier, where we can find the parameters of our model being able to be modified. Now in the list of modifiers, let's look for the modifier to edit the poly. With Poly Edit open, we have the option to select vertices, which allows us to select several points or just one. The next is Edges. With it, we can mark the lines of our model. And if we click on the ring, we have an automatic selection of our edges. The borders can only be used when we have an open model to be selected. The polygon now helps us select models and can be used to erase parts or even move selections. And finally, the element that selects the entire model. T is view from above, L side view, F front view, M materials window that will allow you to apply materials and textures, Seven for the number of polygons and vertices of the 3D model, Shift plus drag to multiply the object, Control plus Z to go back one or more steps, Control plus A for selection of the entire model, Alt to deselect parts of the 3D model. Now looking at the top bar, let's use the Customize tool. We'll go to the configuration of units, which gives us a scale that we want to work. We'll choose in meters. Still in customization, let's go to Preference and Undo Scene. Let's put 500, which will allow us to undo additions of the model. With this part summarized, let's learn a bit about the Edit modifier. Below, we have the selection bar. We choose the polygon, and we'll mark a part of the model, and choose the extrusion tool and edit the model. In the same bar, we have the bevel, which resembles extrusion, and the edges can be edited. With the 3D model selected, we can use the Inset tool to create borders within the selection. Or you can use edges. Select one, go to Ring, and mark the others editing as you prefer. If you select Borders, click Chamfer to leave the model with softer edges. If you click on Vertex and select a point, we can use the Target Weld tool to join points. Using Vertex, we can create edges or even connect and cut with the Cut tool. If you want to create more than one template or join both so that they can be moved together, we can go to Edit Geometry with the template selected, click Attach, then mark the second template. Now the models have become just one. When in motion, we realize that both are moving together. In case you do not want both of them to move together, use the Detach tool. Our next modifier will be symmetry, which will be used in all your 3D creation processes. Let's clean this box and open a cylinder. With the cylinder open, we can also edit its segments. We'll need a central line, so we'll leave that value at the edges. After that, we will use Edit Poly to connect the central vertices of the cylinder, clicking on Connect. To mark one side of our model and delete it, now with only half the object, let's go to the symmetry and mark a flip, thus giving us the missing side. To understand symmetry better, see what I will do. How we perceive symmetry is so effective in what eliminates 50% of our work. Another modifier used to create 3D models is the splines, which we will now use. In Primitive Standard, open a plan to create a 3D model of an image using splines. To do this, go to the browser to search for a reference image, remembering that the reference is very important in the creation of a model, be it a sketch made by you or referenced from the internet. Let's go then. I always use Pinterest as a search tool because in it I encounter the most varied subjects and even the 3D art of other modelers. Which is super cool because you can open your creativity to new projects, personal and professional. I found a reference model, and now I will save. With a saved image, we return to 3ds Max. Select the plane and press M. We go to the diffuse, and then in the inbox next to it, we'll open another window in which we'll press bitmap, looking for the image. Now with added image, follow what I will do. As you can see, you can create a 3D model from the splines. It can be an allied tool in creating models, giving us the freedom to use as the curves and the model in the image offer us. Let's get the plane out of sight. And if we use the shell editor, we can shape our model as we see it.